many of these people are like, "Ooh, I'm so excited to be on camera," and others are like, "Oh, hell no,
I don't
Ducking
care.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be on camera if I was just dropping in to grab coffee.
No, like let me know so I can do my hair.
Yeah.
I'm probably looking
Okay.
ugly.
Well, you saw all the emails going back and forth, and you saw that Jess was
Silent.
CC'd on them.
Yeah.
No, not silent. CC'd.
No. Let's set the record straight here. Zach knew that it's just like a group text. If one of us is responding, the other one can disengage. They don't have to look
Oh, you mean like as a couple?
Yeah,
Like,
Oh, yeah, because you're
He's
briefing
responding.
me. Yeah. No, I get
so
that.
I had no
Okay.
idea that this was happening today, and he deliberately didn't tell me about it in person until I see a calendar invite.
I followed protocol, and there was an invitation, and it's like, wait, is this a video podcast? And
Maybe like a confirmation of the calendar before sending the invite. That's my preference. Like at least shoot me a
Oh.
text and say, does this time work for you tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
no. But trust, he had a haircut scheduled.
I noticed that this morning.
Was I informed ahead of time to have any sort of,
wait, you're gonna get a say of how I cut my hair?
Yeah. First of all, how did we get here? Like, how did you even get me to agree to do a video podcast?
I don't know.
I don't think he did.
I didn't.
answer is
You,
he did.
Right,
you being
right.
here is the agreement. Like this was all a hope and a prayer until you were actually sitting here
Right.
and we got it lit
Yeah.
and the recording. So, ta-da!
You did it.
Called my shot.
Congrats.
I feel like you're our guru, Paige, and
Yeah.
I hope so.
sitting
I
in
bring mediation.
crisscross applesauce.
Yeah, this is marriage therapy, actually.
Yeah,
Instead.
it can be.
Who are you? Because like the last time we had a host, it was Wes, and you are not Wes.
No, I'm not Wes. I have officially taken his whole job from him. Sorry, Wes. He opened this door and I stepped through it. Yeah, so I'm Paige Venturi, the vice president of Honeymoon Coffee Co. And
Yeah.
this is the Honeymoon podcast now. So in a spirit of growth, there's a lot of transformation going on in this season of Honeymoon. And welcome to the video podcast as well. Looking at
Yeah.
a totally new format, exploring that, kind of a new outline and layout of the podcast as well, and a new product that we're formally introducing to the world and want you guys to hear a piece of. So
Yeah. I feel like introducing or reintroducing, like we've had so many sort of like not false starts
Soft
with
launches.
so many soft. So is this the hard launch? Is that
Yes.
what we're calling?
I would say this is the hard launch.
I agree.
Welcome to the hard launch. let's rename the product now. Hard launch from Honeymoon.
What else is a marriage but a hard launch?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean we've had the product like in like a beta stage for over 2 years now. Like looking back at some of our notes and some of the kind of cringy aspects of what it kind of used to be, and iterate, change, get feedback. But I'm really proud of it right now, and I know we're gonna do the whole experience together. But it's nice to be at a stage where you're not like, oh, this could be better, this could be better. Like I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, I agree. It's now just a matter of getting it out there.
Yeah. So like this was this sort of thing. So the building that we're in, we built in
2023.
2023. Okay. And so we had built another building together in 2022, which is kind of Paige's baby. And so it was like, build some in 22, build some in 23. And you were like, nothing in 2024. And
then it ended up being nothing in 2025.
more or less,
Yeah.
we did the Burkhardt expansion.
Slight expansions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes work.
Yeah.
Yeah, not as big. And so like it was almost like at the end of the last, big construction project, it was like I needed my next thing. Like that's how I'm wired. And you're like, go for it. You and Paige can have this little side project to develop this like at home.
We did kind of say, this is Zach's little project.
Yeah, the little
on the
baby.
side.
When it was just dad and son working on a project, and now there's a team with a weekly meeting and a launch and a full brand guide. And
Did you actually expect me to either fail or lose interest?
I did expect you to lose interest.
Okay. So how do you I've
was-
not lost interest.
you know,
It's like now you're on the video.
It was a good 2-year side quest, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got us to this year. We didn't open anything. I felt like our world was feeling a little calmer. And then 2026 has been absolutely insane so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk
We haven't
about
done an
that.
episode. We haven't published an episode since what,
December.
end of 25. Yeah. Okay.
So what's in store for 2026? What's making it so
What's
crazy?
in store? What have we been doing? Because we're recording this in April of 26. Yeah, well, I mean, we closed out the year with like a really cool event. We had a barista throwdown for all the sort of area coffee shops and baristas, and we had, I don't know, 120, 140 people in
I
here.
didn't count, but it was a lot.
It was, but the energy,
Standing room only.
the energy was great. The vibes were great. Everyone was looking around like, man, this is like the best thing that we've had around here for a while. So that was like, felt like a really great way to sort of end 25 at least. And then at what point did we, oh, it was about the same time that we were exploring, expanding our original location. Like we were like looking, like talking with the landlord and getting all of that going. So our original location we opened in 2016.
This is our 10th year, coming up on 10.
Yeah. August will be our 10th year. And it has been kind of our smallest amount of seating. And we were just like really feeling it. And so knock out a wall, add some more chairs. How hard can it be?
Yeah, you said we would be done in 4 weeks.
Yeah,
And here we are in April, and it's still not done.
yeah. Like literally last night, laying down more flooring because we can't work on like customer impact stuff while we're open. And so adding a toilet, doing the flooring until about 10 o'clock last night. That was...
Yeah. If we don't seem sharp, we are a little tired.
It's okay. We have plenty of coffee to drink at some point in the day.
That's true.
So what's left on the checklist for that project? Where's our status? Where are we going?
No, we did have so like starting out and even up until yesterday, I've kind of been the maintenance man for our company, and I didn't know anything when we first started. I mean, it was like YouTube and Google were my best friends, and like stuff breaks down and I had to fix it. But then last night, I feel like, knock on wood, we may actually have landed on a maintenance person who also has enough skills to help with like these kind of construction sort of projects as well. And then we have a designer person that helps people lay out like their kitchens at home. I mean, I'm sure it's more than just kitchens. What would you call Michael's job title?
An interior designer?
That's what they're called. And you've always been, the designer of all of our spaces.
Yeah, it was a bit humbling because this is the first space that I've had that I had a vision for, and then I ordered things and I went to lay them in said space, and the scale wasn't quite right.
The girl measuring.
The girl math didn't work.
It didn't work.
And I actually had to like call a friend who is a great interior designer that I trust.
Shout out
say,
Michael Karen.
Yeah, and say, hey, I just need another set of eyes on this. Like, how can we lay this room out in a way that makes sense for all of the things that it needs to function as?
And that's exactly what I was going to say. The form versus function argument that always happens in a new space. Like looking at even just design is also, it's both. It's form and function. And you absolutely have the form part down where it's like every honeymoon has an aesthetic that looks like they belong together and has been crafted by
but
you.
I've definitely learned over the years that it also has to function. We can't have 20 people hurting over the bar that's crossing with the line of people waiting to order while we're trying to go through and deliver food and drink. Like, it has to also function. So it was kind of humbling for me.
So maybe that's what 2026 is. You and Michael Karen open a design firm.
Please.
He does the function, you do
Jessica
the form.
pieces out from the coffee business, and it's like, all right,
I'll
Zach,
just
you
be
and Paige
slowly
can run with this.
transitioning to you running things, Paige.
Done. 2027.
Hey, I mean, we are getting ready to leave on a trip and be gone for the longest amount of time that we ever have been.
Yeah. We are talking about sort of like the physical growth and like expanding the space and stuff like that, but then we've also experienced some good like internal growth like with the team. And so one of our managers, Amanda, is actually like, was it yesterday her first? Like she's right
Next
around
Monday.
like starting
Next
officially as a director of cafes. And that's kind of been your role this whole time. So there may be like a moment here where Jessica has a little bit of an identity crisis. And
I won't, because you'll keep me busy doing video
24-hour
podcasts and-
trips where you travel across the country and go to 4 states. And
Yes, yeah. Every travel trip with Zach is chaotic at best.
But this one, we're going to stay in the same space for 7 nights in a row.
I actually was trying to prepare him. I was like, you know how we normally travel where we're like in one hotel for one night and then we jump to an Airbnb for 2 nights, then we're at a different hotel for another night.
Or stay with friends.
We're going to
and
be in
impose
the
on them.
same space for 7 days.
yeah, he's going to have a crisis, not you.
I know.
That actually might be true.
Hikes every day, burn the energy off.
Oh gosh, yes, we're going to have to.
Yeah.
For sure.
So is that maybe the thing that excites you the most for the rest of 2026, being able to step back and look at your role in a new way?
Yeah, I think we have hired some really great people, and you being one of them. But I feel really like we have a strong team right now, and we're 10 years in. We've been doing a lot for 10 years and working every day, and it just feels like having a little break or some separation for a little while could feel really nice.
Well, and there's definitely the reality that we've learned of like, for both of us, but I think it's even more pronounced with you, is your creativity really comes online once you have left about like 30 or 45 minutes away from this space. I mean, because we're open 360 days a year or something like that. And it's like when we are open, a significant part of your brain is thinking about what is going wrong right now.
Or just logistics.
Or how do we
in
solve
any given day?
Yeah.
I know someone may call in. We may need to shift some inventory somewhere. We have this meeting here. How can we best efficiently move around our city between our 4 shops where we're not backtracking? And it's like every day I'm making these sorts of like calculations as soon as I get up.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to it, which I know everyone was like, you're not going to be able to not work. But I'm like, I think I will be able to. I'm tired.
At least for a point in time. Yeah, maybe after a month, but a good month-long break is well earned.
Yeah, and this is 12 days. This is not even a month, so.
And as you feel like you're ready to clock out a little, Zach is feeling ready to clock in.
Yeah. No, I feel a level of clarity, vision for the company that I have never felt before. And it's slightly unexpected.
It's totally our dynamic, though.
Yeah.
It's ever like, if I'm ever like, oh, I'm going to step back. I was kind of surprised to see him like charge in as CEO when it's like, oh, well, hold on, I'm coming back in.
Yeah. Don't get too comfortable in that CEO seat, buddy.
So, Zach, what are you most excited about for 2026?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it changes like by the minute. I mean, like we're right here, and like I think a lot of this, project and this video series is like more for like a national audience, and like talking with people about this coffee ritual experience and seeing them get excited, and like realizing that we can actually share it with people all over the country. I'm really hopeful that it resonates, and it allows us to stay like true to what we are, which is a local coffee shop. We're still local to Evansville, but allows us to keep growing. And instead of looking into a different market somewhere else where maybe we're competing with another local coffee shop somewhere else that's local to them, we get to sort of stay us and then also offer this cool, e-commerce mailed experience to people. That's probably like the thing, like right at this exact moment. But then like, as you were talking about like 4 shops, I'm like, let's do 5. Like, let's
do 7.
Well, the other thing that's like true, I don't know how much the cameras are picking up on like how many like customers in the background, but like our company, our local shops are having, we have broken records how many times already in 2026 in terms of
4?
individual store sales?
4 times already at least.
Yeah. As every location had their best day ever in the first quarter of 2026.
Yes.
Yeah. So like we're actually like maxing our capacity here locally as well. And so I'm excited to figure out like what is that 5th location? Will it be open before our 10-year kind of birthday? Will you, allow me to? No. So that's it. That's it. But like the more we can grow, then like we have room for like our team to grow up into these roles. And like we have people that look at this job that they took on as like, oh, this is like a job I work on when I'm not at school, into like, oh, I could actually have like a career or a meaningful like, job into my 20s to where I learn some things and make some impact. And that's like super rewarding.
Yeah, I think that's always been a big part of it for us. We get joy seeing you guys enjoy your jobs and get to work in coffee, which is just a really cool industry to work in. And because we've gone to like a farm trip together and got to see all of that, and being able to just have that in our community is really special if I take time to not be stressed and think about it.
Yeah, Evansville is a place that maybe didn't have a blossoming food and drink scene for the last 10 years, is starting to come along and actually have an aspirational, I think, geared towards the younger generations that do know, like you said, that it can be a career and it can be something interesting, and that if you do put work into your community, you can at least start to make a change or start to impact some people that are part of an audience. And yeah, it's really cool to see in our own community and in communities that you can include in the One Box, which makes me think of the guest roasters and the conversations you get to have with them, and include in communities across the United States, or even communities like the guest roaster from this month that's adjacent to our own,
river.
literally, in Henderson, Kentucky, which is in a different state, but somehow like a 5-minute drive from Evansville, any point that you're at.
Yeah, well, and it's great. And they were at the Barista Throwdown and, competed well, and like just, it was this sort of neat sort of camaraderie around like, hey, at the end of the day, we all love coffee. We love where we live, and we're sharing it together. And so, yeah, when we thought about who would be like an appropriate, guest roaster for this month's edition, they came to mind, and they've actually experienced their own growth here, which I guess we'll find out about in the interview, or maybe you can tease it a little bit before we go to the
They had a big bump this year.
Nice.
In sales or in life.
We'll see.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we'll go to the video, and then maybe take a visit to Jacob's Corner to learn about what the coffees are for this month as well. Do you know what they are?
I know what ours is.
What's ours?
The King Arthur Geisha.
Yeah. Which has always been my favorite of our honeymoon offerings that we've provided.
It's definitely a very unique coffee.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So we'll go to this interview, and we'll have Jacob make us both a cup of coffee from Antler and from Honeymoon, the King Arthur Geisha, and taste it here together on the couch in a minute.
Sounds good.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's what I was going to say.
There you go. So welcome to the podcast, and we wanted to get a little bit more of your guys' origin story. We know that you're a married couple. We know that you guys have a coffee business together, but where does it make sense to start in terms of how the two of you became one?
Oh boy.
It's actually, so my parents moved to northern Wisconsin when my dad was like fresh out of seminary. And so the church that he pastored was the church that his family went to. And so
where were you coming from?
So my parents were all over, like my mom's from Iowa. My dad was Fort Wayne Seminary. And so they just moved up to Wisconsin right when they got married. And so we were both born in the northernmost part of Wisconsin. And that's where his whole entire extended family like hails from. And
Like 4 generations on both sides of my family.
Yeah. So
Born and raised there.
our families knew each other like before we were born.
Yeah.
And so there was like a family friendly connection there. So we would go back up into central Illinois in the summers. And as teenagers, we connected on one of those visits and left and talked every day for 2 years. And then started a long distance relationship in high school and did that for 2 years. Got engaged at 18, did that long distance.
Yeah.
Got married at 19
Planning a wedding long distance.
as teenagers.
Yeah.
So was it kind of shocking when you got married and you were actually like living together?
In the
well,
same
we
place.
were living in our car.
We had phases where when we first got married, of course, my college degree, there was a hiring freeze and there was just no work. And we ended up living in my parents' basement, job searching for uh, just a couple weeks and kind of got into a slump. And my parents, best thing they ever did for us was like, hey, you got to leave
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I don't know where you're going to be, but it ain't going to be here.
And we've always wanted, we love Montana area. That's one of where we kind of got together
Yeah.
was out in Glacier. So we're like, well, let's take a road trip. So we spent our honeymoon.
We were living in a Subaru Crosstrek.
Yeah.
And which now not having that vehicle, when we walk by, I'm like, those are really small.
Yeah, really small.
I had freshly left. I was working in the fashion industry full time, and we were sort of banking on my career. And so then when I left, I went up literally 2 days later, drove from Northern Wisconsin, got married the next week, and then within a month we were out west. And he was just dropping off resumes at like local places, and I was thinking I could just get a seasonal position. And it was the end of the summer, coming from somewhere seasonal, should have known better, like nothing is available.
I think that's honestly where our love with coffee kind of first started.
Yeah, we went to Montana Coffee Traders
Yes.
while we were out there.
And that was
And-
kind of like a little home base where we'd go and
And we were like,
hang out.
this is
Mhm.
cool, because neither of us really had experience in craft anything.
Yeah.
At all.
Mhm.
Zero. Like, and so that was the first thing of like, oh, we could have a little drinks shop.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. And so we ended up back up north in northern Wisconsin. We ended up buying the town meth house.
Didn't know it at the time.
We didn't know.
Yeah.
That's
There
what
was
Was it
sign.
on the listing?
it honestly
You're
could have
like,
been.
why is this
it
place so
was pretty
affordable?
obvious. It was pretty
Yeah.
obvious. But we both got jobs. I got a job as a barista for at the time it was called Kickapoo, now Wonder State. If you've heard of
Okay.
them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
The first cup of coffee I ever brewed was under their training.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
had zero.
Wow.
I didn't grow up with coffee. I never had a cup of coffee until I was like an adult. And then
Wow.
he
How'd
got
you
a
get
job.
the job?
I walked in
Personality hire.
and
Yeah.
I was the personality hire. I was 100% the personality hire. But he was working in town at a winery.
Yeah. And that was my
Mhm.
first hospitality gig at all. I went to college for natural resources, so very outdoorsy, very fine being in the woods by myself. Never really had to interact with people much. So getting the job at the winery kind of like opened up the door. I'm like, hey, I really like this.
Yeah.
So we got kind of
Wow.
this like high-low perspective of craft beverage production and also hospitality industry.
Yeah.
And then just started kind of trial and erroring things at home by ourselves for fun and realized that we really liked it. We liked producing it for our friends and
Yeah.
kinda started to look into what it would take to open our own shop. We're one of the number one tourism like districts in the nation up there. And so
Okay.
brick and mortar was just out of the question for us.
Yeah.
So we were like, well, we could do a mobile business. So we bought a $200 trailer on the side of the road.
Wait, how old
thermal
are you guys
cloth.
at this point? I want to get like a sense of like
20.
your ages.
Yeah.
We're like
Okay, 20
almost
years old,
21.
you're and married, and you're like, we are going to be entrepreneurs here.
Yeah,
Yes.
and I had a business at the time doing coffee subscription boxes.
I
Oh.
was
That's right. Yeah.
yeah. So I had a coffee club online business at this time, um, which actually opened the door for us to meet who now is our roaster,
Yeah.
who roasts at Antler.
Yeah.
Josh, who's great, and he's been with us since the very beginning. So I was dipping my toes into what it looks like to source coffee, what it looks like to find coffee, taste it, flavor profile it. I had become in charge of kind of like some quality control management at the shop that I was at up there and really loved it. You know, I want to know what's in every blend, what is everything about every single origin. Someone has a question, they come to me. And so we both started to like that aspect of things. Well, yeah, we were on a walk one night just talking about the options and came across a trailer on the side of the road, like vintage rundown camper. It
It was
Oh.
weeds growing up, and she's like, that has a for sale sign. We're buying it.
It was $200.
Yeah, so yeah, luckily it was just $200.
Which low key at the time we were like,
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
lot of money.
Uh,
You know?
and yeah, we called the person on the spot. They're like, yeah, but you have to take it as is. So we ended up buying it and then started renovating it. And the whole wooden frame was rotten. So we tore it completely down to the metal towing frame, which was actually a good thing because then we got to build whatever we wanted on top of it.
Sure.
And kind of got that statement look. So everyone knew where we were.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very custom shape. It was a very branded piece. And like, so yeah, if you saw it out and about, you know, we were the
What
first.
color
mobile
was
piece.
it?
It was like a steely blue,
Yeah. with
gray.
black
Well, if
trim.
you
Yeah.
send me a picture, we'll
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
put
I'll
it up on the
send you
screen here
guys
so people can see it as we're
photos.
talking about it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
camper we bought and the camper we built because they're very two different.
The before and
So we
after.
would pull the camper with the van that we would eventually kind of live in.
Yeah.
Not in like the cool van life way, in like the
We bought it as that. We thought we were going to renovate it and turn it out. But I mean, life just happens. And
Yeah.
then you're like in the van.
but it does have a bed.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
had a bed and it was insulated.
Yeah.
That is, there was no walls or
No.
electricity or anything.
No.
So,
Y'all are
But yeah, so
brave.
we got this very like raw start into entrepreneurship. You
Yeah.
know, there was no business plan, there was no written plan, there was no
Go for it.
format.
Yeah.
There was just kind of like I got laid off. This was also the summer of 2020 that we built this. So
Yeah.
I had been laid off
Mm.
from both of my positions. Hunter was sitting pretty nice at a good job for an electrical company locally. But within a week of trying to run the camper up there, you are banking on good weather. You have like 90 days a year that you can make money. If you're a business like us where we're at.
Wow.
And so we're like, you know, it's the end of the summer. If we're going to see what this looks like full time, we have to basically hang ourselves out to dry and make it work full time. Because if he has this cushy job on the side, we'll always be like, well, it's not going to be good weather this week. Let's not go out this
Sure.
week. He can
Yeah.
just work.
Yeah.
And we wanted to make it happen. So he quit his job.
Yeah.
And we ran the
Wow.
camper with zero income.
You guys
And-
went all in.
yeah, we
did.
went completely off.
And we closed it for the season right before Thanksgiving that year, and then went through the whole winter with zero income, and just were praying the snow didn't last too long, and we could reopen in May.
Wow.
So,
So I
That-
kept
that
my
was
other
always-
job.
yeah, that was a really hard where it's like, we're not really good with idle hands, where a lot of people up north are very seasonal. They love to have
Yeah.
the winters off.
Yeah.
We were like just kind of sitting. We're like, we don't know what to do. And then
Right.
plus you don't want to spend much money either because you only have so much. But
So for you guys with the coffee, it wasn't just the coffee as an experience, like this amazing, you know, taste and you're sharing it together, you're drinking, have conversations, or maybe you were also doing that, but it was also like a big part of like, we're going to live or die by how customers appreciate, you know, what we're offering here and the pressure that kind of puts on it. It's like, hey, we like this, but will others like it? Let's go find out.
Absolutely. And especially starting out with kind of the menu choices that we did start out with, which is still what we do have, which is like, let's not give anyone an option to purchase anything they would normally see at a coffee shop. And because the shop I worked for, we, made our own syrups and it was just really awesome. But we had a mocha and a salted caramel and a vanilla bean, and they were delicious.
Mhm.
Like they're phenomenal flavors for a reason. But the really cool kind of innovative stuff that they would do would get left on the back burner because coffee shops can be extremely, I would say, like intimidating to walk into
Sure.
the first time. Even if you're a seasoned coffee person, it's like, okay, well, where's the menu? What should I get? Don't want to hold up a line. So you're gonna see, oh, there's my comfort, flavor. I'm gonna get that iced, and then I know I'm gonna like it. And so the really cool things that I would see done kind of get left on the back burner. And I was like, I don't want to compete with 85 really, really, really good vanilla bean lattes. I want to make one Sweet Sailor and then have that be why people come to Antler. So it ended up being an extremely kind of like slow burn as far as finding people that are gonna be drawn in and try us out. But once we got that, we ended up with a really, really hard following of people that came out for us each season and, would seek out the shop. And, we got a good parking spot that we go to consistently. And, rain or shine, people from northern Wisconsin will wait in line for a nice Sweet Sailor.
That's awesome. That's really inspiring. Like, okay, so then you talked about having this, ideal of van life, and then, making the leap to having this. It's interesting the way I heard you guys saying it. You almost wanted to commit yourself to the non-seasonality and the non-portability of like a brick and mortar, but you did start out with that, mobile setup. So when did the itch to, put down roots in a brick and mortar start to come into the picture?
Honestly, so we kind of always liked the idea of a brick and mortar, but it wasn't feasible. And it was really after our first generator failed us within the first week of opening, where I'm like, this sucks. Mobile life is not for the
It's
weak.
so hard.
I would
So
run
hard.
15 brick and mortar shops before I ever run.
I would too.
a business.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but we had a Shasta at one point and we sold it because it stressed me out so badly.
Yeah, we went from brick and mortar to mobile to back to just brick and
I
mortar.
was like, I hate this.
Yeah.
It's actually
Yes.
making my life horrible.
No, but having it though, it made us the best problem solvers.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
Because
Oh yeah.
something breaks every day.
Plumbing,
Like-
electrical, mechanical. Yeah.
I
we just
mean,
learned
Which is
how
a
to
lot.
fix it.
Which is
Yeah.
a lot how it's like when you have multiple, brick and mortars too. Like something breaks
Yeah.
every day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So,
So
it's,
yeah, we
it's a good
Yeah.
base for
we
you.
loved coffee for the craft of it, and I loved try different pour over recipes and showcase things that people maybe haven't seen before. But we opened the business to get back in front of people because we were in the middle of COVID. We missed people, we missed community, we
Sure,
missed serving
sure.
people. Neither of us got to be in hospitality anymore. His office had moved home, so it's just us two in a house during the pandemic alone, months.
Yeah.
And so Antler was built to get back in front
Yeah.
of people.
This is a single serve opening.
Yeah, outdoor, you're by the lake, middle of the summer. And so that being the motivator was perfect timing in addition to just wanting to serve coffee, but also wanting to really make sure the community aspect of it was established as well. And then that winter that we were sitting all sad and depressed after we closed for the season, we got a text from my friend who is from Newburgh, who had married a guy from Henderson. It's like, hey, I know we've joked about you guys moving here, but my husband's relatives just bought these buildings downtown and they're looking to renovate them for businesses, for
And this is Newburgh,
renters.
Indiana, and Henderson, Kentucky, right across the Ohio River.
Yes.
Is the
Yeah,
Is this
Orange
Carly?
Central. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Carly and I worked in the fashion industry together full time as teenagers and became friends. And So yeah, that's my connection.
I was her volleyball coach when she was in middle
No.
school.
So funny.
No way.
Love that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yes.
and Julie was my assistant.
That's so funny.
I
What
did
a
not know
combo.
this. That's so crazy. So
Yeah.
so it's Carly's husband's like family that came in and wanted to renovate these. And so she sends me this long text and I was like, I can't even tell Hunter about this because this is like my dream. Like, yes, let's go, live down there. I love the winter, but not for 7 months. And so we sat and talked and it was like, well, we've got nothing better to do. It's the middle of January. It's like negative 45 degrees outside. So we
Jeez
left at
Louise.
3 a.m. that night and we got here at dinner time down here. We stayed with their family and came across the river to Henderson, which we didn't even know existed until this text.
So you had visited the area but hadn't crossed into Henderson, Kentucky yet.
No, because we visited
Gotcha.
while they were still in Newburgh before they got
Okay.
married over here. So we actually came up with the idea for Antler in Newburgh on a walk.
Yeah.
And after we were like at the refinery, we were like, "Oh, this is so cool."
Yeah.
So yeah, we came down here for literally one day, walked around. It was sunny and 56 degrees, and it just seemed like a great little town. And we proceeded to go back up north and sell everything and come here. Yeah.
Wow. And how many years ago was that? What year would that have been
We've
that
been
you
here
made that leap?
4 years this spring.
Yes.
Okay. And so that transition from mobile setup to brick and mortar, new, community, people don't know who you are yet. Like, go back to that, establishing of yourself in the community. Like, what do you guys remember from getting started in Henderson, Kentucky?
I mean, it was, I helped out with a lot of the renovation of the buildings and setting everything up. So we were here almost a full year before our shop actually opened. So we ended up actually meeting a lot of people and getting some really good connections. And Henderson has been so welcoming and open for us.
Yeah, our friends who own Cap and Cork on the river here restaurant, they opened just 2 years ago. We were all in a meeting for a feasibility study that the city was doing. And Michael Irvin, the owner of it, said it best. He said, Henderson has like high school style hometown spirit for Henderson. They're like, Henderson loves itself some Henderson.
Mhm.
And they do.
Yeah.
And I think with some of the other restaurants that had started before us, like Roast Coffee was here before we were, Hometown Roots, Homer's, some of these larger, more, I would say, like anchor store positions that were taken up by local business owners, opened the door for people to be excited about what's next for Henderson.
Mhm.
So then as more of us started coming downtown, it was like this, it was a very opportunistic thing for what would become customers to see, oh, there's another space for us. There's this new thing coming. And people were intrigued of why we wanted to come to Henderson.
Yeah.
And, people are like, what brought you to little old Henderson? And we're like, you guys have a Lowe's.
Yeah.
You have like all these.
So
What are you talking about?
So the area in Wisconsin we're from, my hometown is a town of just over 700 people. And then we, with our mobile shop, bounce between 3 and 4 towns, and the largest was 8,000.
Ashley?
Henderson's the big city at this point.
Very much.
Oh, definitely. This was me moving to a really large city.
Okay.
Oh, we were,
Okay.
we can get to like Sam's Club and back in an hour and a half. Like that's crazy, So it was just really fun and opportunistic and positive on both ends of what we were developing, but also the excitement on the reciprocal end of the people down here. So they made it easy on us.
So you guys jumped pretty quickly into owning your own business after getting married. Did that cause any tension between you all where you had to really like go back to those wedding vows and commitment? Or do you feel like working together is mostly a breeze?
We love working together.
Yeah, we work very well together, and we have a good, I'd say, back and forth, where we're always bouncing ideas back and forth, and we're very similar minded. So we haven't had too many like idea and be like, no, I don't like that idea. Where we're normally on the same page.
Yeah, especially like product wise, we're completely honed in on the same page.
Yeah.
But as far as the business being run, we have opposite strength. So that works in our favor. Like all the differences we do have worked in Antler's favor, where it's like at the mobile shop, the things he could fix, I can't fix, but the things that I can do, he can't do, and vice versa. And so I would say the hardest thing was just the early days when it's just us two in the mobile shop and we have no money and things are breaking and you know,
dealing with that work-life balance.
Very like high stress. And then remembering, like you said it the other day, it's like you need to remember to like date each other, you know? Because
marriage comes before the
business.
The business.
Yeah.
Like, if the business fails, well, we'll make another one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like we have these like set times where we can't talk about business because it could be all we talk about, as you guys know. It could be all we talk about. Even the exciting things, like the good things, the exciting things, there is still all encompassing and it's still your business and it's still work talk where, you know, we have to sit around and talk about things that don't involve our professional life. You know, when we were, last year was like the first year in 4 years we didn't have a business in its first year.
Yeah.
And so when you get out of that like veil of being in the opening a shop, you know, phase, you're like, wait a second, hello, we're not just coworkers and we need to, you know, be ourselves with each other again. And so I think reminding ourselves not to just be coworkers and stuff has been really important over the years, but it's honestly only gotten easier. And we really enjoy it. I would, you know, we wouldn't want each other to go get like separate jobs or anything. And so no, we
That's
do really
awesome.
well.
Nice.
Is coffee involved in any of that dating each other that you guys are, you know, reminding, you know, to do? Is that part of the morning ritual? Tell us about it.
Yes.
And I don't know about you guys, but being like living above the coffee shop, having a coffee shop, everyone asks us like, oh, you must drink so much coffee. Really, we don't drink that much coffee at all. But when we do, it's always like in the mornings, she lets me sleep in a little bit and she gets up, she makes us a pour over and then she comes gets me out of bed. And then we sit down and we have a coffee date in the mornings.
Yeah, I've made us a pour over every day for like 6 years.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So Antler has been our sole source of income for 6 years. And part of that has been like, okay, every person starts a business to get their time back, you know, and then they end up, you know, kind of like doubling down.
Working all the time.
On
putting in the hustle.
You know, you quit your 9 to 5 to work 5 to 9 type of thing, you know?
Yep.
And so it was like, no, if we committed to this because we want time together and just free time in general to, you know, be creative and be together and explore and stuff, then we need to actually do that and not just keep creating new things for us to do. And part of that is our mornings. We go on a walk almost every morning. I make us our pour over. We take it on a walk. We take this long walk. It gets us out. It gets us like looking around, doing things instead of sitting and just starting to pigeonhole down and doing a work day right away. And so we do that every day, and that's really special. And so it's also a fun way to kind of more casually interact with the beans we have at the time as well, because we'll be walking and we're like, yeah, this is really good today. Yeah, that's really good today. So yeah, we split a 30-gram pour over every day, and that's our little, but we've done it every day for like 6 years.
Wow. Well, that's I mean, yeah, it sounds like that's a ritual that's not going to be broken in anytime soon. And so I've got sort of two kind of maybe final questions, directions kind of to go with this. And one is about the coffee that you guys sent to us, you know, to be a part of this month's ritual box. And then the
big life quake is a word we heard recently here that sort of changed for you guys at the end of last year, and how that has affected your marriage, the business, the ritual, your rhythms of life. So whichever order you want to take those, that's kind of where I want to go next.
So I assume you're referring to Oliver.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So tell us
I was like-
tell us about Oliver.
Yes. So yeah, last at the end of November, we had a baby, and not just a business baby, but like a human baby.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he didn't start a
and
new business, but he started a new human.
Yeah.
yes, we did.
Yeah.
And we did a lot of simplifying in preparation to have a
Mhm.
baby. And the nice thing too, with like wanting to make sure that our business aids to our time back for ourselves and each other. A lot of that last year was in preparation for becoming parents. And so I pretty much I do a lot of tasks at Antler. You know, I still do all the marketing and getting the menus out and getting the schedule out and posting and all that stuff. And, you know, we work on syrups and recipes and sourcing coffee, but those are much more like task driven. I don't have to work any like shifts. I'm not on the clock. So I'm able to be home with him, which has been amazing. And then we've simplified his tasks a lot too. So he's able to be home with us a lot as well. And so it's been obviously huge where now you have this person who needs you 24 hours a day with you 24 hours a day, but it makes things just so much more exciting. It's like it makes us want to do everything now. And oh yeah. If anything, it's just like, oh, now we want to do this and let's go camping more and let's bring them and let's go, explore and show them places. And
We've talked about we're going to have to buy the town house again just to like bring him down a bit because he's going to be so spoiled living here.
I know. I'm like,
with, all our customers and everything.
I'm
Yeah.
like downtown Henderson is way too nice.
He's
We
like
gotta
your
give this
little
kid some
mascot.
context.
Yes,
He
yeah,
is.
definitely.
Yeah. So no, it's been amazing, and we've had a really, really, really good transition because I mean downtown's very family friendly too. That was one of the motivations for us moving here. Is one of the times that we were just touring. It was like late in the evening in a beautiful evening, and there were a ton of young families sitting on the patio of one of the restaurants, and I was just like, huh, their life didn't shut down. Their life didn't stop. Look, they're out with their kids and they're like out to eat and having fun. What a treat. So we're like, that's
Yeah.
possible. We can
Yeah.
do that too. And
Yeah.
getting to kind of like have that showcase for the first time, it just magically made it seem possible. And then waiting as long as we did to make sure that the businesses were dialed in to the way they are, made it even better. So yeah.
Because I couldn't imagine if it was still like the mobile shop days and it was just the two of
Sure.
us
Mhm.
and then adding a baby in the mix,
Yeah.
we would have made
That-
it work. But
It
Sure.
would have been
yeah, it's
It would have
so
been a
nice
pressure
that,
cooker.
yeah, it's so
Yeah.
nice that we're fully staffed and
absolutely.
they're able to
Yeah. And
help
then
us out.
I'm super, super happy that you guys chose the single origin you did for this box.
It
'Cause this
called to
is
me.
one of-
I was in the shop and I was like, that's it. That's the one.
It is so good. So we've always loved to like showcase experimental beans, especially because we get to work on a smaller profile with just the shop that we have here. And so this is a like developmental lot coffee in Colombia, and Sebastian Ramirez is a pretty well-known producer from Colombia, but does a lot of really good work. And so it was really fun because we're finally at the point where we've been showcasing two different single origins at once at the shop to kind of do a side by side and show people that like, coffee can be just coffee, but also it can taste like a cup of fruit or,
Yeah.
these crazy notes. It has more, chemical compounds than a glass of wine does. And I think that people really let the complexity of a coffee, by the wayside sometimes. And so this was a really fun one to showcase. So it's an extended ferment process. So it's even, more funky and more developed than just a regular natural process. And then the bean and variety that it's grown from is already really high complexity varietal. So it was really exciting to get into our customers' hands and to showcase at the shop. So, it's a lot of heavy red fruit. We have Merlot on the bag because that long ferment really does bring out a lot of those winey notes where we've had, customers pull that out on their own where they're like, this tastes like wine, like, and then
Something I
getting to
recognize.
discuss, what does a flavored note
Yeah.
even mean? And it's
Mhm.
not flavored coffee,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
what the compounds of coffee
Yeah.
already has. And so this is one of our favorite beans we've ever had, and so is a great one for you guys to pair with for sure.
And is this something that you anticipate having for an extended amount of time, or is it more of just, once you've sort of used up this, allotment, it's kind of here and then and gone?
Yeah, so just like our menu with the syrups that we make, we like to work as hyper seasonally as possible, just to showcase that coffee is a plant, it's a fruit, it has a season just like
Yeah.
everything else, and so the whole bean belt of the world has different growing seasons, and so what we bought is what we bought, and then once that's out, we'll have a new single origin show up to try. So we have a Ethiopian that we just got in that we're working on right now, and so that's also really fun as part of the kind of customer education point, is that our blend stays pretty consistent. We try and keep that profile really consistent for the milk drinks,
Yeah.
the flavored drinks, the cold brew, etc. But then the single origin gets to be this item that is more fun and ever changing and evolving, and gets to bring in more of that experience to people who want it. And so, yeah, once this is done, we won't buy it again until maybe next year when it shows up again. But just
Sure.
like how people talk about a vintage on wine, it'll be different. There is a lot from Costa Rica that we've been consistently buying now for about 4 years. And it's the same farmer, it's the same lot, it's the same ferment, but it's different every year.
Yeah.
And
I
so
know.
I think that that's a really cool part of the industry, and there is this like fleeting notion to things that are really, really good and makes you want to become a part of it. So that's also one of the fun things as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I hope people are intrigued enough, by getting a little taste of your story and your shop and your beans. And so we would encourage folks, if they're traveling to Henderson, Kentucky, to check out Antler Specialty Goods. And do you guys have like a website or e-commerce to where you're selling your beans to ship to folks as well?
So we're probably down the road, we'll have the website open. But right now, the website just kind of showcases what we have available at the shop right now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we definitely want to get that up and running probably within the year. But right now we're just in store. So
Beautiful.
good.
Well,
Yeah.
if you do feel the calling to check out Antler, we definitely can recommend it, and we are looking forward to tasting it together and blending it with one of our Colombian coffees as well for this month's box. Did you have anything else you wanted to ask them about or highlight before we wrap up, babe? Some words of wisdom or encouragement from the future, since we're so much older.
Not so much words of advice.
She loves it when I put her on the spot.
I know. I'm like, dang, I thought we were done. I just think it's that you guys have done such a good job, and we actually love coming to your shop and also walking. We find Henderson to be just a really cute and quaint riverfront, so we kind of use it as our escape from our city because it's just like across the bridge.
Yeah.
And
we do the same.
so we're very thankful for you guys and have loved getting to meet you, and just so happy for you and the baby and all the growth that's happening in your lives.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's exciting, and we're hoping that others are excited to experience it more as well through this podcast. And we appreciate you guys, and we'll leave a link for people to be able to check out the website and plan a visit sometime soon.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. This
All
was so
right.
great.
Cheers.
Yeah. See ya.
All right, we're finding Jacob in his little coffee corner over here.
Howdy.
Jacob, what do we have going on?
Yeah, we're brewing up the 2 coffees for the ritual this month. So I'm brewing up Antler, a Couture variety from Antler Specialty Goods. So this coffee is the week 1 coffee. It's a really fun one. It's a fermented coffee, so it's going to have some kind of like more winey notes to it. And then it's also lightly roasted and just a really, really sweet coffee all around. So I'm making a V60, a pour over right now. We may have a recipe up for this style of brewing it. And I'm kind of testing that right now. So you'll see me kind of save a little for myself to try. But we do have another pour over on our site, the Chemex, that will kind of have a recommended recipe for this coffee as well. But yeah, so this is from Antler Specialty Goods. Really bright, really vibrant, really punchy coffee. Just a super fun one. So as this guy kind of drains, I'll kind of switch over and then we'll actually brew the geisha from Honeymoon too. So yeah.
Awesome. I'm excited. Sounds like we got two fun, funky coffees.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The geisha that we're about to brew up, I'll try not to be too excited about, but is really good coffee. And then this one from Antler. Here, I'll go ahead and pour this real fast. Let's see, Antlers.
Some ASMR.
Let's see, I'm gonna save a little bit for me so I can try that. We're doing these a little different than usual. We usually start at what we call like a 1:16 ratio. So like 1 part watered, 16 parts coffee. What I'm doing right now is testing these like a little lighter than that, a little more water to coffee, because they're such light and sweet coffees that I think if they're a little lighter, a little more tea-like, not like tea, but a little more tea-like, that it's going to really just help highlight their flavors. So that's what we're trying out here. And we'll see in the final product if that's the recipe we recommend, if that's the move or not.
How much do you get to like play around and experiment with roasts like that? Like, would you say that some roasters tell you like this is the best optimized cup, or is it all subjective and you get to kind of play around with personal preference?
Definitely subjective. I feel like that's the thing. Like that's what's fun, even as a roaster too. Like I'm gonna say like the things that we're gonna taste, and like here's what I'm tasting. Like I mentioned, the last one's kind of has some wine notes and this and that because it's fermented. But the way that you brew it and how long it's been since it's been roasted. And even the water you use affect all those flavors, and everyone's taste buds are also just different. So how often? I'd say most mornings there's some sort of coffee that I or our team are trying just to try a new way to see how it tastes this way, that way. This a week after roasting and a month, and just experimenting and having fun with it. So yeah, it's kind of part of the fun is getting paid to just try different coffees. Yeah. So
Just be overly caffeinated all the time.
yeah. You do. That is the one thing you have to look out for, is not having too much. So I'd say 1 to 2 cups a day. And when you start to get past that, it's not sustainable. But we still do it sometimes. That's for sure. So what I'm doing right here is I'm making a pour over. And there's a step in this that's called the bloom. We have that on our Chemex recipe on the website as well. Essentially what a bloom is whenever you're going to pour just a little bit of water, enough to like saturate all the grinds. And so I poured 50 grams for this recipe because I'm just making a small cup for this, for the podcast and for tasting. But what the bloom does is whenever you pour that first dose of water over the coffee bubbles like a ton, and a lot of carbon dioxide from the roasting process and the cooking process is being released. So if I were to pour all of the water over right away, we like to say water is lazy. So as it bubbles, water is going to run through those little bubbles and channel down to the bottom, and we're just going to get water flowing through the coffee in uneven ways. You'll have some parts that are like have brewed way too much, over extracted, and they become bitter. Other parts that didn't brew at all because the water lazily took a fast route. So I did a bloom, second pour. I'm waiting a little bit, and I'm going to pour a little bit more and wrap up the cup. Just making small cups. So that's part of the fun too, is starting out small so that you can test more. And then, if I was brewing up a 2 or 3 person pot of coffee every single day, multiple times a day, they kind of be both wasteful and dangerous caffeine wise. So have you tried either of these coffees before?
I have tried the geisha before. So that's a honeymoon coffee. I think I tried it from the first time we ever sampled it. Zac got really excited about it. It was easily one of his favorites. So then we tended to sample it a lot. But this Antler coffee I haven't tried. So I'm really excited to switch it up and have something new.
Yeah. I've tried the Antler, but I'm excited to try this way. The geisha is, it's one of our like staples, our core. So if for anyone trying this, if the Antler is very punchy, we say it has strawberry notes, it is a lot of florals, and it's also very winey. The geisha is really neat. It also does undergo a long fermentation. Essentially before it's roasted, the green like coffee seeds actually get fermented with water. the geisha goes through a long fermentation, but the variety that it is, geisha, is really, really naturally sweet. And somehow a lot of those winey notes don't really come through. You just get a lot of, we just say tangerine. So like, it's a little bit of a citrusy thing that you kind of also get with wine, that acidity, but it's not super strong. It's very sweet, like a tangerine. We also describe it as having honeysuckle notes, peaches. So like, you've had that, you know how sweet it is and how nice and vibrant it is. So it's going to be cool, I think, to contrast that week 1, week 2, the Antler Couture variety and this geisha here. They're both from Colombia. They're about 5 hours apart from each other, which in the scheme of things is not very far, landscape wise. But they're different varieties, and they are still grown in different soil. So it's really fun. These two coffees, if the geisha is really light and sweet and tea-like, the Antler is likewise very similar, but it's going to have some interesting fermenting notes that I think will be fun for people to taste side by side, or week to week. Yeah.
Sounds like really good summer coffees too, which where we're at, there's a lot of warm weather happening. So I'm excited. It feels like summer, so I want it to be summer. So
Super summery coffees, 100%. So I'm probably going to steal a little bit more of this one for myself to try. Sorry, Zach.
So then when we're tasting too, like tell me what we're looking for. Tell me how I should approach this tasting. Like walk me through it.
Just 3 like simple things, kind of core things that I think make it that are the most approachable, at least to me. One is taste, or like flavor. So the things that you could name, like this, of course, will taste like coffee, but compared to other coffees I've had, does it have more of something else? So does this one have more fruitiness or more floralness? Is it really rich and chocolatey or dark and bitter? What can I name that I'm tasting? So you want to taste it, you also want to smell it. So just give it a good aroma. Give it a good sniff. The aroma is like the majority of what you're going to taste. But sometimes the aroma is different than your actual flavor experience. So that's kind of a fun one. What do I smell? What's the flavor? And then the last one that I think can be overlooked and easy to not think about is, we call it body, but it's essentially how it feels, how it fills your mouth. So when this goes in my mouth, does it kind of leave my mouth dry afterwards? Does it fill my whole mouth with flavor, or is it very just smooth? I swallow, it's gone. So just noticing, some of us like different coffees with different body. So some coffees pair really well with cream. They have a very full body, you might say. These, I'm going to suggest, likely have a little bit of a lighter body. They're going to be smooth and light, but there will be a difference between the two. So yeah, just ask those 3 questions. What does it smell like? What does it taste like? And how does it feel in my mouth? Those 3 are what all of the coffee professionals are doing, just with a lot more technical language, but it's the same thing. It's exactly what we're doing every day. So yeah, do that.
All right, I'm excited. Yeah.
Actually, we'll,
Cheers.
What we can do now is go ahead and take these over to Zac and Jess.
Okay.
And yeah, we'll let them try it.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Cool. Sweet. Let's do it.
All right, here we go. And this is the Antler. Okay, all right. Ladies first.
Thank you.
And then this is the geisha, the King Arthur. Yeah. Okay, awesome.
Back to the corner with you.
This one.
All right, so we're going to move into talking about the one and actually ask you guys some specific questions.
We're going to do the ritual.
We're going to do the ritual.
Some version of the ritual, yeah.
Okay,
Can I smell yours?
We do not know the questions.
No, surprise.
Well, I did write them, but I don't know which.
He's forgotten since
Well,
then.
I don't know which questions.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
that
you wanna
one has
taste?
a really strong strawberry note.
Yeah.
Give us a little ASMR.
Yeah. This one's
Man, that's
very
great.
almost like a dessert coffee.
That's the geisha,
wouldn't
right?
it wouldn't be what I would drink every day, but
It's a little treat.
I like dessert every day.
But Zach loves
Yeah.
coffees like this every day.
All right, taste that. It's really good. It's awesome. I got like a rhubarb kind of thing. So, okay,
All right.
Strawberry
we're
rhubarb.
ready for question.
So for some context, every month the subscribers to the box or just one-time purchasers they'll get 4 weeks worth of questions, and that's up to 16 different choices. So
Yeah.
I had the pick of the litter. This was my favorite. Knowing you two.
Well, and each month does have a theme based on contrasting wedding vows. So
Okay.
richer and poor, sickness and in health, and then there's made up ones like
This month is in faith and in doubt.
yeah.
super deep to start with today.
You ready for this?
Okay.
All right. So,
Wake up, brain.
Well, it's like it's Easter weekend and that whole kind of season.
It does
and
actually
like,
feel like we're in therapy too, like we're sitting on a couch. So give it to us there,
tell
Alice.
me about your feelings. Okay. Well, a banger to start.
Okay.
When do you feel most connected to God or something sacred on a regular basis? And what about a singular moment?
Wow, that was a banger. Thank you.
Well, anything coming to mind for you immediately? Like either one of them? Like
The first question was
When you feel most connected to God on a regular basis. So maybe something in your routine.
I would say I like to, because our shop's open early and I know my day will sometimes get just out of hand right away if something goes wrong. I do like to wake up early and have my quiet time, my time with God, that thinking, praying. So that's kind of my like routine, sacred time.
yeah. Yeah, mine I think is more around like people. Like when I'm like really with someone and like we are really like into something, like it's like a very real conversation or a real moment where we're like just caught up and it's just like this is sacred. This is holy. This is magic. But not, why are you laughing at me?
Because I just remembered the conversation that happened with my oldest son, and he played this joke on me and said he was dating someone that was much older than him, and I did not approve.
Oh, I forgot.
And I got so mad, and I responded so poorly. And
Wait, can I tell the story? Because you tell it too quickly.
Well, don't use names, though.
Okay, to
Okay.
protect the innocent. Yeah, so he tells this. We're at dinner together, and Jessica's been like at him to like, not like find a wife, but kind of like like, all right, you know what? You're in your late 20s. Let's go, buddy. I already had 3 kids by the time I was your age.
You're calling it late 20s now?
It is late 20s.
It is, unfortunately.
27?
Yeah, it's
How many
late.
20s are left after 26?
No, he just turned
27, 28,
27.
29. There are 3 20s left
Okay,
after
we gotta.
26.
For my sake, we have to move past this part.
No.
Keep going.
A little too close to home.
Yeah.
All right. So he's like always keeps his dating life a little secret, a little cryptic, and we're having lunch, and your other son was in town, and it was kind of like, oh, we're having a nice family moment, and he's like, all right, I gotta tell you who it is, and he like says who it is, and it's someone older than Jessica,
Older than me. Older than me.
and we had 2 totally different responses to it, to where she was like, because we had just hired him like to join the company. Like he quit his job and he's like, I actually want to take a shot at working for the company and I want, a real chance and blah, blah, blah. And she immediately within 5 seconds says,
I fired him.
yeah, she's like, good luck with your career now. Just like ice cold. And I was like, no, babe, this is good. Like,
Zach's like, this is an honest moment. And gosh, don't you just appreciate that he feels comfortable enough with you to be honest with you? No. And I'm over here like fuming. I can't even think straight. And like, Zach comes out of this as like the shining stepdad who now my kids are like, if we ever have something bad, we are contacting
I will be
Zach
getting the calls
first.
from jail.
Which is shocking they didn't feel that way already, in my opinion. I'm always calling the step parent. You can't really like punish me that bad, can you?
Yeah, that's probably smart. But it
just goes back to his like, he loves like those types of like difficult or real conversations.
Yeah.
At like a spiritual level.
Yeah. Those are probably the holiest moments for me.
And maybe for some clarity, we should say like, what are both of your belief systems? I know, but not everybody else knows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been kind of an evolving thing for me. Like I grew up in the same faith that Jessica probably would still identify as, kind of a evangelical Christian, and then was a pastor for a little while, and then took a hard turn towards atheism, and I'd say definitely since we've met, it is softened into a little bit more of an agnosticism, and then almost a hopeful agnosticism, and now like really being able to look at all of my roots in Christianity and then my wandering in atheism, kind of maybe more like sort of integrated Christian universalist of some sort. That's a lot of words. I don't know if anyone cares about all of those things,
He
but
does have a separate podcast for that.
Plug.
tune in to the Zach Parsons Projects podcast on YouTube. Yeah. That's true. I do. Like, this is the kind of stuff that I like think about and talk about all the time. And I'd say, Jessica, I'll let you speak for yourself.
I mean, we did, like he alluded to, grow up both in a Christian church, and I was non-denominational, and I still am. I would say I had a rebellious period in my teens, and I would say then after that I kind of felt reconnected with God, once I had my kids, and it is an important part of my daily ritual, as is, coffee. So for me, it's just kind of been pretty constant.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, like we have, certain language things that sometimes we maybe mean different things with the same words, and you have to clarify and sort of wrestle with that. But I know that it's like a super important part of like what makes her so amazing. And so it's never been something to where we've felt too much tension of trying to convert or change the other. In terms of like the long term, like one-time moments, I'd say like there's been a handful of things in nature, like literal mountaintop experiences.
Yeah.
Like I remember climbing to the top of Half Dome in Yosemite National Park and just being like, okay, this is way too beautiful to have just been random. Like something made this beauty and I am acknowledging it.
Yeah,
Like,
and I've definitely had something similar when I gave birth, to the boys, and it was like,
yeah, I don't have that one.
yeah, I mean, obviously it was a huge experience and just awesome. Like, wow, this thing was created.
Yeah.
And so that's
Creativity. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay. Let's move on to question number 2.
And you can tell we didn't practice these.
Yeah. Spur of the moment. As Zach loves organic conversation.
Yeah, this is totally organic.
All right. Question 2. How do you experience your different levels of faith or spiritual engagement? Which we kind of touched on already, but I guess maybe as a couple, how do you experience them? And then does it create any distance between you, or have you found ways to appreciate your distances?
I would say we've found ways to appreciate our differences, and also that we have come together and met each other in the middle as well. So just this past Sunday, Zach's been going to a worship service called Open Table. And
Even that's stretching it. A worship service?
or what do you call it? A
I don't
church
know.
service?
Yeah, a gathering. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's in an old church, and it kind of had like the teaching portion, and then we finished it with a meal together in like a separate room, and
Yeah.
it was great. And he's asked me to go probably
2 years.
For 2 years. Yep. And it just so happened that I hadn't gotten ready to go to church like I normally might, and so I was like, yeah, I'll come to Open Table with you.
And you hadn't eaten yet, so you knew there was a meal.
Oh,
and you're,
perfect compliment.
I'm sure it wasn't it. Yeah. But it was like it's like it's in a church that closed, and then the church building reopened as like a nonprofit space that does education things, feeds people, and then so now a quasi church is sort of launched inside of the church that closed. And
not to say that it's never brought tension between us, but I think we definitely acknowledge our differences and try to respect each other's differences.
Yeah. I think whatever it is that I have been kind of searching for, when you put like, it's definitely this and it's definitely not this at like two ends of a spectrum, it's got to be something in the middle. And so if she's over here with kind of, it's definitely this, I'm naturally going to sort of be coming her way as I'm exploring what it might be.
Have there been times whenever maybe like one of you or both of you had a questioning way that you felt about a belief and one of you swayed the other one? And like had a legitimate enough argument or interpretation that you were convinced?
Yeah, I do. As you say that, I do feel like there was a moment where that did happen, where you convinced me of something, but now that I'm trying to come up with it in the moment, I don't know exactly what it was. But there was
I don't remember ever convincing you.
No, you did. I just remember it when it was, and because I like to kind of debate, and I can be a little. And we were kind of going back and forth. So my love language is words of affirmation, which just means I love to talk. And she can both comfort me and crush me with words. Sometimes she forgets that and accidentally crushes me. She's like, why did that matter? But she said something, and it was just crystal clear, like quicksilver, just whoosh, right through my brain and my heart. And I was like, oh, that's a great point. Yeah, done. And it like completely changed in my mind and like got fully integrated into, it wasn't a matter of like, oh, this is my pet belief and now I have to give her credit for it. It was like, no, that's true. So might as well integrate it into my life because it's just true.
And I kind of know that about, this is marriage. You don't set out to try to change the other person. And Zach would definitely rebel against if I ever tried to come with like some sort of argument like, hey, I need to sway you to my belief. That would be an automatic turn off. He's turning the other way. So yeah, I think just in general, if you set out to actually change someone, that's probably not the healthiest in a relationship.
Probably good advice.
You need to work those things out before you get married.
Cool. Any other questions, or are we going to leave that up for the
I think
audience?
we should leave the rest. Yeah.
Okay.
Let them have these conversations themselves.
Well, how can people find out more about The One?
So you can find The One online. We have a website, theonecoffeeritual.com.
That's it.
Also an Instagram account as well.
Yeah.
So look us up. And you can also purchase the product a one-time month or a year-long subscription from the website.
Yep. Yeah, this was good. Good job, Paige. Do you have any feedback for Paige on her podcast hosting debut?
She's amazing.
Yeah.
My palms are sweaty.
So Paige,
That
we
microphone.
talked about Wes at the beginning, and Wes is still great, and he's still around, and he's still awesome. He's actually started his own podcast where he highlights people who are maybe behind the scenes a little bit, but play a huge role in bringing something to life. And so I heard a little bit of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, you've got to talk to Paige. And so Paige was featured on it. And
You did such a good job that
right.
Zach slotted you in as our new host. There you go. High praise.
I girl boss too close to the sun on that one.
It was awesome. Also available where podcasts and YouTube videos can be found. So we'll make sure we link to that below as well. But are we cheersing or are you switching?
Cheers.
Oh, okay. Well, till next time.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.